And we're live.
All right. Well, we got an exciting one today. I'm super thrilled. We get to watch a Dark Depths mirror. Guy, how are you feeling? Have you got a chance to look over the deck list? I mean, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so I'm looking at him now.
Yep.
I don't know how to feel. I'm going to be honest, I have never seen a Dark Depths mirror play before. I've seen the decks individually played out against other archetypes, but in a mirror match, I'm not sure.
I don't know what to expect either. You know, I wish I had played a little more Legacy. I feel like that would give us maybe a little bit more footing and grounding and what to know from this mirror. Looking at their deck list, though, a couple of things stand out to me. So we're looking at Fjord's list. Fjord's playing all the Dark Confidants, and Wizards of Blizzard is not playing Dark Confidants. Instead, he's playing 2 Elvish Reclaimers. And then looking at Fjord's gone up on Hand Disruption, but Wizard is playing Mental Misstep instead. Otherwise, their lists are almost identical. And so I'm curious to see if that has any kind of an impact here. If any of those cards come to play, my instinct is to say that Dark Confidant probably won't matter too much, but maybe it will. I really honestly don't know. And I was thinking that maybe Wizard has an edge because he's playing Mental Misstep, so he can fight on the stack more, which might matter. But I'm ready to just watch and find out. I mean, seems pretty exciting to me.
Yeah, my first inclination would be to say that if anybody has, disruption, land hate, any form of that, they're gonna be the one that's favored. I don't know what Fjord's hands look like, but I think we have a heater here. We got Urborg, we have Dark Depths, and we have Vampire Hexmage. Right.
Well, we top decked a nice one. We got the Inquisition, so I'm pretty sure that Fjord just gets to Inquisition away the Hexmage, okay. And now because of that, we're not going to die on turn 2, so that's a good thing. One thing, speaking of land hate, which is interesting you bring that up because that's another thing I noticed too, is that Fjord is playing Assassin's Trophy, and Wizard is not. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the only thing that can blow up a land in either list is those Assassin Trophies in Fjord's sideboard. But I'm combing over the list. I want to make sure I don't say that and have made a mistake there.
Assassin's Trophy was the only thing I've seen.
Yeah. So maybe that comes up. That would be pretty funny, but it looks like our game's already wrapped up. This one's probably going to be a fast one. We had a really sweet mid-range grind fest before, and now we are just going 100 miles an hour here. But yeah, that looks like that's about it. On Fjord's side here, Fjord's looking at these Pithing Needles, which is going to be really funny if we end up Pithing Needle naming a card because, we name anything in our opponent's deck, we can't activate it either. So it's going to be pretty funny if that card comes up.
Yeah. I see right now Wizard of Lizard. He was just he was looking at his sideboard, seeing I think a whole lot of nothing. We've got Chalice of the Voids, we've got Grafdigger's Cage, we have 4 Leyline of the Voids, and then Force of Vigors, which I guess Force of Vigor has text. Maybe we could catch an early expedition map that matters, but I can't imagine that determining this game.
Exactly. Force of Vigor does have text. That is true. Oh, that'd be pretty funny if that comes up. But yeah, so for anyone who may not know, Dark Depths was our most represented deck in our Swiss rounds. So it's really no surprise we get to see 2 Depths lists in the top 8, our only repeat archetype, if I'm not mistaken. And pretty funny that they caught the pairings against each other in the quarterfinals here. And they kind of get to weed each other out, so then we just have one Depths deck moving forward. But either way, I can say with 100% certainty that someone's dying to a 2020. It would be pretty straight. Maybe, who knows though? Maybe things get needled and then we just take the 2-1 beats. But yeah.
So we have.
Go ahead. Yeah. Well, how's things looking on Wizard's side?
So we have the Force of Vigor in opening. We decided to bring in 3 of them. We also have Urborg, Vampire Hexmage, and an Expedition map. So we do have the combo rolled up. Not turn 2, but turn 3. We're gonna have a 2020 coming at him.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, for Fjord here, he's mulled pretty deep here. He's mulled down to 5. And he's kept a pretty reasonable hand here. He has a good amount of disruption, and he also has some ways of finding the combo. He's going to kick things off with a Once Upon a Time. and is going to grab only option there, unfortunately, is the Urborg.
Hmm.
So now we're just left with Force of Vigor, Urborg, and Dark Depths in hand.
Oof. Well, I mean that's one Hex Mage away from being really good.
Yeah, Hexmage off the top, and then we're in business. One thing about Fjord sequencing is maybe we should have cast the Once Upon a Time first, because we ran into the Urborg, so we could have gone Urborg first and given ourselves a out to drawing a Hexmage here.
Yeah.
Because then we could have just gone Dark Depths. And he does draw the Vampire Hexmage. Wow. So if he had led on Urborg, we would have had a 2020 right here, right now.
All right.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, otherwise, I think we got to just lead here on the Urborg and the Hexmage. And we'll see how this plays out. This is going to be interesting.
I Hexmage. I think I may have just held it for the
I don't know.
There's not a whole lot of creature removal, but there is discard on both sides.
Right, yeah. So maybe I think that was actually maybe right to just play around Hand Disruption because, I'm guessing any removal spells are probably coming out in the mirror here.
I think so.
Most likely. But yeah. But it looks like Fjord's probably going to get the first bite at the apple here.
Yeah, so we drew on Urborg and Thespian Sage off the top. We were one draw away from having a really good hand here, but we didn't quite hit it.
Well, okay, but can Wizard make a 2020 before Fjord's able to attack with his?
How's that?
I'm not sure. I was wondering if that's possible.
Let's see.
I'm still struggling a little bit.
It is possible. So he cracks Expedition Mat looking for the Dark Depths. He plays the Dark Depths, and if he top decks a Vampire Hexmage, then I think we have a staring battle.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, no, wait, but isn't Urborg and Stage and Dark Depths just make a 2020? I'm pretty sure that it does. And so I think Wizard just grabs a Dark Depths off of this Expedition map, and then we're just going to have two 2020s looking at each other. And I don't know what breaks that stalemate. I really don't.
Let me look at the deck list. I'm not sure. I mean, it's indestructible.
Right.
Let's see. Dark Confidant and Vampire Hexmage beats?
Well, they would just get chumped by the... Right, by the Marilage. What?
So maybe. Okay, the board save I'm seeing is we both have 2020s, and whoever can go wide enough to get in one attack.
And it's legendary as well. You can't make a second one.
Yep.
Oh man! If Fjord top decks the Assassin's Trophy, but of course it doesn't do anything here. It's too late.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna be a lot of passing back and forth. I mean, what?
So I hate to see it. I hate to say it, but Wizard of Blizzard has one less card in his library.
Oh my God! Is that what it's gonna come down to? Fjord bullying to 5 is gonna win him the game, maybe.
Maul OP. See, I'm looking at the deck list trying to see something else that matters, and I'm not seeing it. There's no Lilies. There's no edict effects. There's no bounce effects. Nothing.
I mean. And also, I mean, we just don't have enough creatures to go wide, right? Yeah, Fjord's gonna do what we are doing, which is looking over deck lists, going, "How does this game resolve itself?" Oh wow. Well, we might be. This is the modern we. We could have had.
I think if anybody draws a Bob, they shouldn't play it.
Yeah, because you just kill yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any outs in either deck here.
Right.
I genuinely think that Wizard has less cards in his deck, so.
Yeah, well, there is. So, yeah, I keep running scenarios in my head. I'm like, okay, one person attacks, they're indestructible, they block. Then if you can make one on the crackback, there's no way to make a surprise Hexmage, right? Like if you see the Hexmage, I mean, sorry, not the Hexmage, the Marilage. You see the Marilage coming, right? There's no way to just be like, whoops, a Marilage, and then block your attacker and attack back or something weird like that.
For sure, it is a very face-up kind of.
Right, yeah, the combo is pretty obvious here. Be hard to miss. Yeah, there's no crop rotation in this format, so there's no way to just surprise someone.
Here's an interesting point.
Okay.
Let me look at Wizards. So Wizard right now is losing because he has fewer cards in his library. How many Assassin's Trophies does he have?
Wizard has none.
No Assassin's. Okay, because I was gonna say he could
fit his
try and force.
Get the basics out of your deck so you mill first. Oh wow!
This is something.
At this point, well, obviously our top 8 competitors will compete in the best way they see fit. But if I was in that position, I might start typing in chat. Hey, there are no outs to this board stall. Maybe like discuss it or ask.
Yeah.
Can you see an out to this board stall? Because if not, you will mill out first.
Yeah.
And then if that is agreed upon, we can maybe move to game 3. Because otherwise, I think we're genuinely just going to be drawing and passing until someone runs out of cards.
Yep,
I do not see a single card that makes any difference here.
Yeah, and Fjord sees that too.
Okay.
That's in chat. I don't think he was.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, Fjord, go ahead. Is gonna
What an interesting game.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we missed something. We missed something,
Okay,
guy.
hit me with it.
Shout out to Kami. Mr. Kami pointed it out. I want to see if you notice it. I'm just gonna give you a little bit. I won't hold you too much in suspense for too long. Yeah, just let's look over Fjord's list. See if you see anything.
Okay. Let's see.
This is a really funny one, and I'm I'm ashamed I didn't notice it, but it's pretty hilarious. So we're gonna look over the lands in Fjord's list.
All right, I just got to the lands.
Yep. You see it? You see it?
The Sajiri Step.
That's the Sajiri Step, the Mirror Breaker. This is amazing because
all right, so Expedition,
no joke.
Just do it.
No joke. I think actually it may have been Kami and I were kind of scratching our heads about the Sajiri Step because, you know, when you don't have an instant speed way to put a land on the battlefield, like with crop rotation, you know, Sajiri Step, the idea with Sajiri Step, right, is that you are able to protect against a path to exile, you know, something instant speed because, you know, if you crop rotation, then Sajiri Step enters and then you have an instant speed way to give your creature protection from a color.
Right.
And so we were kind of scratching our heads going, why Sajiri Step? Like, why would we play this? But really, we were teching for the mirror. The Mirror Breaker, Sajiri Step, we just naturally play it and, yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think Fjord sees that. If he's saying that neither of them can beat a Mirror Lage. So hopefully he'll figure that out. Or maybe he's just big braining. Maybe he's like, oh yeah, neither of us can beat it. Don't mind this expedition map.
Don't mind the expedition map. Yeah, absolutely.
So funny enough, if Wizard had it, if Wizard had the Sajiri Star, I think it might be a little bit better because of the Elvish Reclaimer, like you said, that instant speed interaction, like the green-white Titan decks in Modern used to play.
Exactly.
You know, back when they were
used to play. Oh, say it again. Say it again. Used to play. We used to be a playable deck. Say it again. Yeah, actually, really funny that we're looking at a list with Elvish Reclaimer and no Sajiri Step, and then no Reclaimer but Sajiri Step. So that's kind of a funny little quirk of these deck lists.
I'm really hoping Fjord sees it.
Yeah, I hope so too. It'd be interesting.
I looked right over the lands. I looked at the lands. I was like, yep, some good techie stuff. Let's look at the main deck to see what outs we have.
Right. Yeah, I obviously did not see it either. Wow. Well, so hopefully one of them notices. They're not just going to play go for 40 more cards. In the meantime, let's see, Guy. Did you play any No Banlists, or were you interested at all in it? Did you look at the list at all? Or
I was moderately interested.
Yep.
I was moving halfway across the country when the Swiss rounds are going on, so I decided to just stay out of the tournament. I didn't want to be like the one person everyone's waiting on.
Gotcha. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. But I was interested. Gotcha. Honestly, I think if I were going to do it, so No Banlist Modern has a lot of just absolutely broken things.
Right.
And I would not use our sample size as kind of the arbiter for what No Banlist Modern is. Because we're a Discord that is brought together based on the love of one archetype.
Right, that's correct.
So I think a lot of our decks, I think a lot of the decks here go towards that. And I think if I were going to do No Banlist Modern, I was just going to play stock goblins.
Very cool. I love the idea. Because honestly, it would have done all right. You just packed a bunch of pithing needles in the side, and then you had some, Fjord boarded out the Sajiri Step.
No!
He boarded out the Sajiri Step! Oh, no!
Oh,
he boarded it out.
How did they get to have even cards in the library? Did I miss something?
Fjord fetched twice. Fjord fetched twice. Now Fjord's attacking?
Whoa.
Is he just giving up?
I hope not.
Uh, huh. Interesting. Okay. Well,
I think yeah,
that's a very
I think Fjord may have just had enough, and
yeah,
you know,
that's a very Fjordian way to go out. Um, wow, what a interesting match.
hmm.
Um,
We just have another way to put a Mirror Lage.
I don't think so.
Maybe like, can he fetch up, play a Dark Depths, and then play a Vampire Hexmage? But this is
Oh, he's just gonna make another one. Okay,
oh no, he already
interesting.
had the Hexmage on the battlefield. But this
Right,
also put him down to having fewer cards in the library.
right. And now Wizard can just F6, just can put F6 on everything, and just yeah, just draw and be yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
yeah.
All right. Well,
I think we
hmm.
just mash the 6 button over and over. We're gonna win.
Right, exactly, exactly. Interesting enough. Wow. Well, this has been. I feel like I've learned a lot. I don't know about you, Guy, but finding out what the mirror breaker is, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, yeah, I really love. But we were talking before about playing stock goblins, and I think it's fantastic. Yeah, maybe just jam some pithing needles for this matchup in particular. And then, yeah, you just try to get there because there were so many fair and mid-range decks that, yeah, I think just modern goblins, I don't even know if you play any ban cards, whatever. And then you just probably would be able to grind out through a lot of the fair decks, quote unquote fair decks that
Yeah,
we
so
saw in this format.
right, that was a lot of my thinking. I was seeing like the rug mid range from Dan. I was seeing the
Mm-hmm.
Bant countertop control from Bobby. I was seeing
Mm-hmm.
Jund. I was seeing like the affinity grind Uro stuff, and goblins can just outdo all of that as far as the grind goes. So my
Right.
thinking was if I do that, and like you said, just put hate pieces in the sideboard to beat the unwinnable matchups.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah, it was a really cool metagame. You know, it's and I didn't expect anything less from this Discord. You know,
Hmm.
this Discord is yeah, like you said, we're huge fans of mid range. You know, we tend to gravitate towards a certain type of deck, and so when we can say no banlist modern, and we see things like no banlist storm, no banlist amulet titan, eggs, KCI, and we're like, nah, we don't want any of that. Where are my dark confidants? Where are my
Right.
where are my Deathrite Shamans? Let's jam those in and just try to make it happen. So yeah,
Right.
that was really cool thing about the tournament. I made the very brilliant and wise decision to play Infect in a sea of fair mid-range decks. Needless to say, it didn't go well. Obviously, you don't see me in this top 8. So,
Uh,
but the it was a fun deck, and the Infect deck made me kind of, realize and learn some things about that deck that I thought was pretty enlightening. And, when everyone's packing Fatal Pushes and Abrupt Decays, Blazing Shoal is not, it's not quite the scary card.
well, Blazing Shoal's good against a ringleader. That means anything to you.
There we go. Yeah, right. Yeah, I needed you to be playing. No, because probably I would have gone for it. You just would have munitions expert me, and I just would have felt really sad.
I have always enjoyed playing Infect versus Goblins.
Yeah, it
I
seems
think
like
it's
a
a pretty
fun one.
interesting gameplay.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah. I believe you told the story one time about someone called you just Rakdos control one time, trying to get some infect creatures across the line.
Yeah, he was getting a little bit tilted. I mean, I was drawing very well.
Yeah,
I was
for
kind of
sure.
putting two on the Goblin. Someone came over and asked, like, "Hey, what's the new guy playing?" My opponent, kind of salty, was like, "Freaking Rakdos control."
Oh man, you love to see it. You love to see the infect player get a little salty, right? But yeah, it would have been funny. I think honestly, if I had registered modern, just like the modern infect list, I probably would have fared better because I would have had more protection spells,
All the
more
spell
blossoming
pierces.
defenses. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, the force negations. Force negation is not quite going to cut it when someone goes Thoughtseize and a double removal spell on you, and you're just like, I got nothing.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
and again, to be fair, I think the kind of Blazing Shoal all in infect where like you have your force negation for backup and you just try and get him dead as fast as possible probably fares well against the wider no banlist
Mm,
modern.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That did feel that way. Yeah.
yeah, the grid flare no
Um,
banlist modern. Fatal Pushes and Abrupt Decays all over the place.
Mm-hmm. The funny thing was I almost registered Burn, actually. Just literally, Burn with just Treasure Cruise in it, because why not? Treasure Cruise is a broken card.
Yep.
And I tested it, and I should have gone with it, I actually think I may have had some success. We saw that game against Jund. Look how much damage Jund dealt to itself. It's like I was kind of kicking myself for not registering that one. If I were to do it again, I think I would have gone with that Burn deck, because it was actually not too bad. I was testing against this deck, actually. I was testing against Depths. And obviously it's not a favored matchup, of course, but there were a couple games where you just have enough burn spells just to fly them off at your opponent's face. They stumble a little bit, and you kind of just get there. And especially that deck list, every card did the same thing except for Treasure Cruise, which throw you 3 more cards that did that same thing again. So
Yep. I remember when Treasure Cruise was first introduced to the format for the short amount of time that it was in the format. Jeskai Burn was just insane. And the best deck of the format was Delver. Delver followed by Jeskai Burn.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's some cards that they just print, and it's just one of those things. Some cards take a long time. Say KCI, right? KCI took a while for the community to figure out, and it was even Matt Nass who won 2 GPs in a row, something crazy, and people were still just like, nah. And then people finally figured it out. But there are some cards that are just immediately on the spot, just broken. Everyone knows it, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know. I think there was one event, and if I'm not mistaken, I think his name was Bob Huang, I think, who was that played that Delver list. And because at very beginning, people were like, no, I don't know about this Treasure Cruise thing. But then he just played Delver with 4 Treasure Cruise, and it just wasn't close. So, all right, Wizards the winner. we decided to give. That was a fun one.
Yeah. So I think, game 1 was about what we were expecting to have happen. One person got the combo, the other person didn't, and then they won.
Yep.
Game 2, I think, I hate to say it, but I think could have gone to Fjord if one of two things happened. One, if Fjord had kept Sajiri Step in the sideboard, so he could tutor it up and get protection from black to get through the Mirror Age.
Right.
And 2, I think if Fjord had, just when he had more cards in his deck, just started smashing 6.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I think it probably would have got there. Exciting or not, I think it would have gotten there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nailed it. Welcome back to the post-match winners interview talk show. I am your host, The Fjord. With me today, special guest, Wizard of Lizard. Just thoroughly destroyed me in our match. So, what did you think, Wizard?
Yeah, I think game 1 went pretty much how I think we both thought this would go. Whoever got the Merit Lage first would take it, and then game 2, we were both stuck, and I don't know, it was still fun playing, but definitely kind of the 2 ends of the spectrum of the Dark Depths mirror.
Yeah, no, this was the first time I've ever played that, so it was very interesting.
Yeah, I play the deck in Legacy, and there are definitely answers like Caracas to a resolved Merit Lage that both decks would run, so there's a little bit more interaction that you can have with the Merit Lage. But
a little bit more than just sit there and stare at your computer screen mashing
exactly.
6.
See who gets decked first.
Yeah. So thankfully we didn't go that long. I conceded before an hour passed of us just staring at each other.
Right.
So, so I guess my next question is, what do you think? So you're going up against Bobby, so
Okay.
countertop. How do you think you're going to do in that? How do you think your chances are going forward here?
Yeah, I think I need to look at Bobby's deck list. I think that the Dark Depths combo is cool because it is pretty resilient to counter magic, with the Thespian Stage, Dark Depths, and Urborg combo that you can get quickly on turn 3, or without Urborg to take a little bit longer. But so there's a little less interaction, but he'll definitely have answers to Merit Lage that I won't have protection for.
Yeah, no, when I played him, it was I just kind of got shut down. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
so hopefully you do well there, man. Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank
Hopefully,
you.
you can continue on in the name and honor of Merit Lage.
Yeah.